The doctor. I went to the doctor because my arm was really hurting me. And the doctor did an exam, and it was my first visit, so they had to get my weight, my height, my blood pressure. They did a blood test. They examined my heart rate, all of that stuff. My height was 5'3", and I weighed 94 pounds. That was it. My blood pressure was 120/60, and that was normal. And my heart rate was 60 beats per minute, and that was normal too. They did a blood test just so they can see where my cholesterol level was, and that was normal too, which was good for me. And then the doctor stuck pins in my arm to see whether or not I had a tingling sensation or whether or not I felt numb in my arm there. And then the doctor asked me if I took any aspirin, and I told him that I never take that. So we thought for a moment, and he said that the diagnosis was that I had a torn muscle in my arm, and that if I just took some medicine, it would help. I didn't need to get an MRI or an X-ray. And I said, okay. So he gave me Vioxx to help with the pain, and so that I took that. And then he also told me to continue to put ice on my arm every day. And if I took the medicine and iced my arm, then it should help with the inflammation and also help with the pain. And he told me that if in 2 weeks I wasn't feeling any better, I should call and come back to the office. So 2 weeks later, I went back to the doctor's office, and I was pretty upset because the whole entire waiting room was full. And my arm was just hurting worse and worse every day. So I waited to see the doctor for a whole hour and a half before I was able to see them. And I hated that, but I sat in the room and waited anyway. When I was finally able to go see the doctor, I explained to him that I was taking the medicine and icing my arm, but my arm was still feeling worse. So we decided that I needed to get an MRI. And he said, but first, you're going to have to wait a little while because I do have a patient that's 87 and they need a blood transfusion. They need an emergency surgery, and we have to call an anesthesiologist, the person who puts the patient to sleep, to come and help out. And so I said, okay, because I needed to get an MRI because I felt that I had a serious tear. And what ended up happening was I did have a serious tear. I had a torn rotator cuff in my arm. So, and that's the end of my story.